Hello, everyone. I'm James Milan. Welcome to the DPCD update. DPCD, I probably don't need to tell you, but I will anyway, is our Department of Planning and Community Development. And I get to speak to Claire Ricker, the director of that department, for this update. Hello, Claire.
Hello.
Welcome to, like I was saying earlier, our third attempt at spring. Let's hope that this one takes.
Let's hope.
Yes, and I know the town meeting has begun, so you have all kinds of things to look forward to in in these next couple of weeks. But let's share some news and updates with our audience. We're going to talk about, well, we'll talk a little bit more about town meeting, and then there's the CDBG week to talk about and some other news as well. But let us start with the master plan, which we have mentioned the last couple of updates, but deserves, some further updating. And I love the opportunity to say amp up. So let's amp up here.
All right.
What can you tell us?
That's great. AMPUp is the Arlington Master Plan update. And I gave an informational webinar on February 29th, and we invited the community to apply to be on the advisory committee. We received 32 applications, which is great. We had a lot of interest in being on the advisory committee. We are reviewing the applications now. We were going to select up to 13 members of an advisory committee, plus a representative from the select board and a representative from the redevelopment board. We anticipate notifying applicants the first week in May about whether they've been selected or not. And the first meeting of the advisory committee is scheduled for June 13th. The earliest we think we'll be able to hold a public meeting related to the master plan update and related to selection of a consultant to help us write the master plan will be in the fall.
All right, sounds good. But I have to say, 32 applicants, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure you'll get a great cross section of the community involved there. And good luck with that. We'll be hearing more about it in the future, obviously.
Sure.
So we had mentioned town meeting is upon us. What do you want to share about that?
So at town meeting this year, we have very few actually zoning warrant articles, but one that I'd like to talk about is our inland wetland overlay district. And the warrant article, the motion is to delete the inland wetland district from the zoning bylaw. And there's a little bit of a misconception out there that this article will leave parts of the town unprotected, parts of the town's wetlands or other wet areas would then be left unprotected, but that's not the case. Our Conservation Commission is really the body that looks at wetlands and has over the past decade or so really strengthened their jurisdiction in that area. So the inland wetland district at this point is redundant, and the fact that it's in zoning makes it difficult for my department, for inspectional services, and for the Zoning Board of Appeals to really make thoughtful decisions about wetlands. We are not the professionals to do so. It would put the jurisdiction really where it belongs, with the Conservation Commission and not the ZBA. It is an administrative change, and I think that it looks scary, but when you consider it as an administrative change, you can see that it is actually pretty necessary for us to delete this section from zoning and let the Concom do their work.
Well, I know that is one of the main points of these updates that we do, is to make sure that you have a chance to clarify certain things that folks may have misconceptions about. So that's great. Glad to give you that opportunity. All right, let's move on. Community development block grants, huge impact in our community like others. And there is a CBDG week coming up, CDBG week, excuse me, coming up.
That's right. This is program year 50 of CDBG. And over the past 49 years, Arlington has received $58 million in CDBG funding. So clearly a great financial support for the town and the work that we do here. CDBG supports organizations and town departments that are leading efforts to promote housing stability, food security, social interaction, childcare, small businesses, job stability, and more. We were able to go on a tour at the beginning of the month to view some of the projects that have received funding over the past several years. We visited the Arlington Council on Aging, Food Link. We visited the Arlington Housing Authority and the Housing Corporation of Arlington Properties. It was a great tour. We had a really robust group of folks who were very energetic and enthusiastic about the projects, and visiting these awardees is endlessly satisfying to see what they can do with these public dollars. So the town right now is in the process of preparing a one-year annual action plan for CDBG to submit to HUD. We will be having a public hearing to review the draft annual action plan, and then there's a 30-day public comment period that will follow HUD's forthcoming release of the CDBG granting funding awards. When we are making these awards, we do not know what the level of funding we are going to get from Housing and Urban Development, so we have to make educated guesses, but we do get a final number right around this time every year, and we will be holding a public hearing on our program plan for the next year.
Can I ask you just a quick follow-up on that? How often, in your experience, is there much of a discrepancy between that educated guess that you make and then the figure that comes in?
That's an excellent question. The dollar amounts over the years have gotten smaller and smaller, but generally it's about we receive a little over $1 million a year, and I think anywhere between 1 million and maybe 1.2 million. But it is, when we're talking about making these small grants that are so helpful to the organizations I mentioned before, it can make a big difference. So last year we received, I believe, $1,580,000. This year we're anticipating receiving about the same. I imagine the award will still be around $1 million.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So we've got just a couple of other pieces of news to share, and one of them has to do with the fact that we're going to get you up here into Arlington Heights in May. You can stop by the ACMi studio while you're up here as well. We would love that. But you're going to be part of the Spring Fling, I understand. So tell us about that.
That's right. I will be at the Spring Fling on May 18th. I will be there to provide information and answer questions related to a zoning proposal that the Arlington Redevelopment Board is looking to advance at next year's town meeting in 2025, related to establishing an Arlington Heights business district. So we would take the various levels of B, we call them B districts, that are up in the Heights, and we would combine them into one comprehensive zoning district that better reflects, the current design of the Heights, what future development may look like up there, related to, commercial construction, and those sorts of things. So I will be at the Spring Fling, kind of as a kickoff informational session for folks. And just, I would love it if people would come and ask me some questions about what we're trying to do here.
Great. And one last item to share with us about the Fossil Fuel Free Builders Forum.
Yeah. So we held a Fossil Fuel Free Builders Forum on April 10th. It was a joint forum put on by the Inspectional Services Department and DPCD. Our sustainability coordinator, Talia Fox, was deeply involved. We had about 20 builders and contractors attended, and they heard a presentation from Talia and from the ISD director, Mike Champa, discussing the new fossil fuel-free bylaw and its requirements, which will take effect on May 21st. They also provided some information on pathways for compliance and the rebates that are available through Mass Save.
And did you say that there were about 20 builders who were attended? Great.
Yeah, it was really well attended. Yeah, it was quite a success.
Yeah, you got 32 applicants for AMPUp. You got 20 people showing up here. You guys are doing some good work there.
Yeah.
All right. Anything that we have missed, Claire?
No, I don't think so.
Well, given that you, if you weren't up till all hours last night at the first night of town meeting, you will be in the future, so we'll let you go.
All right.
Thank you so much for this. I've been speaking with Claire Ricker. She is the director of our DPCD, our Department of Planning and Community Development, and this is the DPCD update. We appreciate Claire's time as always, and yours as well. This is James Milan. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.